Mr. Foreman, on docket number 2282CR117001, murder in the second degree, what say you? Is the defendant at the bar guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
So say you, Mr. Foreman? So say you?
Charlie?
No. Do you agree?
Yes.
Do all of you agree?
Yes.
Thank you. 002, what say you? Is the defendant at the bar not guilty or guilty?
Not guilty.
Of.
Both.
Is not guilty or guilty of that charge or any lesser included charge?
Lesser included.
Thank you. Specifically, number 5, operating under the influence of liquor by operating a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or greater. Correct?
Yes.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Guilty.
So say you all?
Yes. Guilty.
003, what say you? Is the defendant at the bar leaving the scene after accident resulting in death? Is the defendant not guilty or guilty?
Not guilty.
So say you, Mr. Foreman? So say you all? Jurors, hearken your verdict as the court records it. You, upon your oath, say the defendant on 001 is not guilty, on 002 is guilty of operating under the influence of liquor, and 003 not guilty. Thank you.
All right, jurors, everybody please be seated. Jurors, we thank you for your service. We're going to send you back. Your service is complete. I'd like to come back and talk to you for a little bit afterwards. So thank you very much.
All rise. Jurors, follow me.
Well, and so you're looking at live images there inside the courthouse.
Not yet. Hold on, everyone.
We just had the verdict read in this case, Karen Reed's retrial. She got those not guilty verdicts on the most serious of the charges. Karen Reed embracing her legal team.
Within 10 days that you do not want these records sealed. To request that these records not be sealed, you may use the request not to seal form, which is posted on the trial court's website on mass.gov. I cannot accept the form here in court. You must submit it to the Commissioner of Probation at the address provided on the form. Please be aware that if the records regarding the charges which you have been found not guilty are sealed, you will be unable to access the sealed record of the not guilty dispositions or any other records regarding those charges. If you want copies of any documents regarding those charges before the records are sealed, you should request copies from the court within 10 days. Do you understand? Thank you.
All right, so we need a date for sentencing. Can we do it next week?
We would be prepared to go forward today.
Okay.
Okay, so we wanted to just listen to the tail end there, the judge setting a date for sentencing, but Karen Reed found not guilty on the most serious charges in this case. That's that second-degree murder. She was found guilty on operating a vehicle under the influence of liquor. But as these verdicts were being read out, we heard cheers from outside the courthouse, and that's where we find our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman. Matt, I imagine, I mean, it's got to be elation outside the courthouse as we see the sea of folks, Reed supporters dressed there in pink, hearing this verdict being read aloud live.
Alex, I couldn't actually hear the verdict because there was so much noise, because these people were cheering so loudly. Hundreds of people out here in pink. They had been absolutely silent for hours because that's what they had been told by police. They cannot interfere with the jury by making noise, by chanting "Free Karen Reed." And when the first part of that verdict was read, there was absolute jubilation, and you heard this pent-up cry, this shout, this cheer from hundreds and hundreds of people simultaneously. God save the people! God save the people, free Karen Reed. There is absolute jubilation. I don't know if you can tell, but this is the main road in downtown Dedham, Massachusetts. Opposite from where we're standing is the courthouse, and police actually allowed the Karen Reed supporters into the street because they realized they wouldn't be able to hold them back. And right there, those are Massachusetts State Police vehicles blocking them, and there are barricades between them as well to prevent them from swarming the courthouse. We expect Karen Reed at some point with her legal team, including defense attorney Alan Jackson, to come out of the courtroom. We might be seeing them right now. People are starting to come out. And the elation that Karen Reed supporters feel right now, with only that, as I understand it, I really only heard snippets from what you were saying. I couldn't hear what was being said in court, even though it was being piped into my ear. My understanding is it was only the minor charge of operating under the influence. As jubilant as this crowd feels, the family of John O'Keefe is heartbroken. We saw them going. You can hear the boos right now. They also booed the family of John O'Keefe during the first trial. That's Aidan Kearney. Aidan Kearney, also known as Turtle Boy, who is one of the main backers of the conspiracy theory against police that it was police who attacked John O'Keefe that night during the blizzard in January 2022, and that police covered it up, and you heard that massive chant and cheer in his favor. Turtle Boy, you hear them chanting Turtle Boy. But as I was saying, Alex, the jubilation that you hear out here, the opposite is being felt right now by the family of John O'Keefe. I saw them going into court this morning, absolutely grim-faced, looking like they were going into a funeral. And one of the family members held out hope. He told me a sliver of hope that she might be convicted of involuntary manslaughter. That was not the case. They feel like justice hasn't been done. And in addition to that, many of these Karen Reed supporters, including Turtle Boy, have made personal attacks verbally, have gone to the house, confronted family members and people involved in this case. And right now you hear the jubilation, the cheers, as members of the defense team are coming out. They're making this signal. This is sign language for love. This is what they have been signing out and putting their hands up in the air for days and days, because they are not allowed to cheer. Well, they weren't allowed to cheer before today, before this verdict came through. But it's really a stark contrast between the two sides here. The O'Keefes, who are devastated, I know, and the supporters of Karen Reed. And of course, we have yet to see Karen Reed come down those courthouse steps. Although this morning we saw her go in, Alex, and I can tell you, she looked very optimistic. She was walking side by side with her attorney, Alan Jackson, who has been with her every step of the way since he took a phone call from what he thought was a random person in Boston. He's a practicing attorney in Los Angeles, took a phone call from someone and was so compelled by her story, by the tale she told him, that he decided to take her case. He says he's done a lot of it pro bono. I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.